You're too old, and it's too late to start. Has anyone ever said that to you? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's too late to quit. And oh yeah, you're not too old. In fact, the good news is that it's always the right time to start. You've come to the right place. And me and my friends are going to share our stories of why we will never, ever throw in the towel. Welcome to the Too Late to Quit podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Iftikharuddin. Let's go. Welcome to episode number 5 of the Too Late to Quit podcast. I am a professional at being patient. Let's unpack that. I was listening to a podcast. There's a great podcast called 10-Year Town. It's hosted by Troy Cartwright. Phenomenal singer-songwriter. Phenomenal singer-songwriter. He's got a great voice. Really great guitar player. I really like his music, and his podcast is fantastic. And he had a guest on, Brett Tyler. And Brett talks about being a professional at being patient. And he arrived in Nashville and he said, I'm going to be the person that waits the longest. I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to stay the longest. I'm going to stay working at this the longest. And he's gone on to have some hit songs. And I think that when we are starting this and we're in our up in the North 40s, that if we've made it this far, we've learned how to be patient, how to control that muscle. And I would encourage you to use that muscle, that same muscle that has led you to be as successful as you are today. Use that as you begin to create your art, because I promise you that's going to come in handy. And what I've learned over the years is I have lots of tricks to do that, because there are times when you have something and you're creating something and there's this need, I have to get this out now. I need this now. This has to be done now. But I have so much that I have to do. I've got to figure out how to record it. I've got to write the song in the first place. I have to see if the song is even right. And then I have to release it, and I have to figure out the social media strategy. And am I going to do paid ads? And am I going to get it mixed? Am I going to get it mastered? Am I going to release it with this video? There's ad infinitum you can go on. And that is where ye olde overwhelm always comes into play. Why is that? I find myself entering into this paralysis when I'm surrounded by what feels like hundreds of thousands of decisions. And so when that happens, what I need to do is I need to pull back, and I say, okay, for me, it's songwriting. And I have to say, okay, let me go back to just me and the guitar. And if I can get that song to where it feels so good and so right to play it. You ever listen to a song and it sounds effortless? It sounds like the person must have just written it on this amazing stream of consciousness. I think that says a lot about how we are as songwriters, as creators, and you never really know the true story behind it. Sometimes they'll reveal it, but I think a lot of times the person that released that piece of art did it after really putting in the work. And maybe they did write that song or create that screenplay or write that novel really fast. And I'm willing to wager that before they got to that point, they put in the hours. And that is one of the benefits I want you to think about if you're north of 40. Think about all the hours of experience, just of living your life that you have, and you can put that into your art. I would wager that you have several albums of material somewhere in your medulla oblongata, somewhere in that gray matter, you have several screenplays ready to just fall right out. But you have to coax them out. It's like coaxing out the song from within your brain, or the story, or whatever it is what you're trying to tell. For me, it's telling my story. It's reading this diary entry in a way where I can do it in a melodic way. So what are the tricks that I use? I saw this bumper sticker in Los Angeles. I'm going to tell you exactly where I saw it. It's on Sunset Boulevard, heading east, just past La Brea. And there's a 7-Eleven there. And I was driving to that 7-Eleven, and I looked at the bumper sticker on this car, and it said, "Something amazing is about to happen." One of my favorite bumper stickers that I've ever seen. Probably first favorite, it just said, "What?" That still makes me laugh today. What? I love that bumper sticker. What? And then something amazing is about to happen. Why? Because that bumper sticker unlocked this piece of magic in my brain, and it got me thinking, ooh, wait, what's about to happen? And sure enough, something very amazing did happen right after that. Ever since I saw that bumper sticker, it enlightened me to the idea that I can flip a switch inside my brain, and I can literally make magic happen, and so can you. I encourage you to try doing this. What if, before you started your day, you said to yourself, what amazing things are going to happen today? And what if that then evolves to something amazing is going to happen today? I guarantee you, if anything, it will add a huge palette of color to your day. I've had some pretty rough days, and if I can apply that early enough, then at the trickiest part of the day, the most challenging part of the day, I'll be like, ooh, but something amazing is about to happen. And I like to do what I feel are something that's symbolic to going to the gym. Because again, as most of us in our 40s, we have full-time jobs, and we're also creating art. And I would be willing to bet that your full-time job is very complex. It takes a lot of energy. It's physically exhausting and mentally exhausting. I would be willing to bet. And when we finish that job, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but when I finish that job, what I want to do is what 8-year-old me wants to do, which is pop on the TV, grab some Cape Cod potato chips, maybe a Reese's peanut butter cup, and a Jolt Cola, and watch TV until it's dinner time. For me, that now is TikTok, Instagram, doom scrolling, dopamine, whatever. If I can pull myself away from that, because it's like looking at Medusa, you turn to stone. All of a sudden, you look into that infinite well of your cell phone, and it's like you fall way down that very quickly. It's like descending this dopamine ladder. 7-second video after 7-second video after 7-second video takes you through an array of emotions. And it feels like a way to disassociate from the stress of the day. And I find it's almost the same as going to the gym. The hardest part is getting there. Once you're there and you get into it, go to that piano, pick up that dusty guitar, the one that hurts your fingers, the one that you can't get it perfectly in tune. Go to an open tuning. Go sit down and work on that. Let your fingers hurt. Go through that process of building the calluses again. That's okay. Unless you have the ability to travel in a time machine, maybe you do. Please drop me an email at toolate-to-quit-podcast@gmail.com. Please tell me how you built your time machine. I'd like to check it out. A couple places I'd like to go. It's okay. It's going to hurt. Those first couple months, as you get those tendons and muscles and muscle memory and build it and start clocking in those hours, you're not going to always want to feel like doing that after you've just had your butt kicked at work. I promise you, what it will do for your soul is absolutely, it's almost like an elixir. Not almost, like it is an elixir. If you sit in front of your sketch pad, if you sit in front of your computer with your software that you use to write screenplays, I guarantee you will feel it's like a salve coming on all of the stresses from the day. And you might be very surprised at the art that comes out in those moments. And there's this exercise that I do in addition to saying to myself, something amazing is going to happen today. And maybe that sounds hokey. Oh, well. Maybe that sounds corny. Oh, well, I'm just a corny guy. And that's okay. The other thing that I love to do before I start my day is I speak about the day in past tense. I say, I'm so glad I had such a fun day, so many awesome connections and conversations, that so many cool surprises happened, and that I had this great idea for a song. I had this great idea to talk about on the podcast. I had this great idea for a chord change. I had this really cool idea for a story I wanted to tell in a song. As if it's already happened. And the way that I keep myself sharp, I do this every day. I look for situations where I know it's going to be a challenge to make the thing happen. A couple days ago, I needed to get into a building. I didn't have access. I walked up to the building. There was something important I needed to do in this building. Doesn't this sound mysterious? I had no access card. And I said, I am going to get up into that building and do what I need to do with no access card. Went up to the security. It was a Saturday. Sorry, sir. The only people who can go up there are you need to have an access card. And there's, no one here. And we need to call an engineer, even if we got you up there, because the doors are closed. I said, okay. Explained who I was. Do you have an ID? No, I don't. Well, sort of. Because I recently turned in my license in Texas, and it's a temporary license, which is a piece of paper. It's a photocopy. It looks about as fake as it can be, but I happen to have my passport. And there's something about a passport that feels different. It's a different vibe when you present a passport as opposed to your state license. I stood up a little taller in my shoes. I said, "Here's my identification, sir." And I didn't argue. I didn't show any frustration. I let this person explain to me, and I offered zero resistance. I didn't say, "Oh, is there any way?" Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. And this is an experiment I've been trying as of late, where I go with the flow. And the interesting thing that happens is that the flow picks up on that positive energy, I'm telling you, you will always have an opportunity to do this every single day. It's really fun. And sure enough, this security guard, maybe he was impressed by my passport. This security guard was such a cool person, made a couple calls, and then made sure that I got exactly where I needed to go. And it was for many different reasons. And I like to think that it was because I set myself up for this success. If I hadn't gotten into the building, oh well. I was okay with that too. But I thought this would be fun to try it. And because I went into it with that energy, I think that's why the outcome was what it was. So, the next time you see an opportunity like that, give it a try. It will literally make you feel like a kid again. It feels exciting. It feels like you're on a mission. And I promise you, as you move forward with your music, with your art, you are going to find yourself in many of these situations where you encounter the naysayers. The naysayers are an interesting breed of people. The people that love to say no. And there's a great quote by Milton Berle, and I learned so much driving on the streets of LA. This was in Westwood. I'm just going to tell you the intersection. It was right on Pico and, oh boy, Westwood Boulevard over by Guitar Center. And the billboard said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." It's by Milton Berle. And I remember seeing that, and the stoplight changed, and I remember I pulled over because I wanted to write that down on my phone. And I didn't fully understand it, but I knew what I was reading was super important. You ever see that? It's like, ooh, that's got a lot of vitamins in it. I don't know what they all are, but I know it's good for me. Let me absorb that. Like anything, you can take it to mean what it means and how it resonates to you. For me, it's such a beautiful way to say, look, if you're knocking on all these doors, if you're trying all of these different methods and nothing is happening, do your own thing. If you can't get a record deal, but you feel it in your heart to make music, make music. If nobody will buy your screenplay, write it, finish it, write another one. Find a way, shoot it on your iPhone. Shoot a scene on your iPhone. Write one song. There's always a way. And I find that quote to be so empowering because it puts you in the driver's seat. It lets you be the orchestrator of your future. Why wait? Why wait for that person or that company to do this for you? Or I give you permission right now. Go do it now. There's a tremendous amount of freedom when you do that. The more and more that you do that, I promise you, it gets to be addictive. And it becomes like a game. And you get to do it over and over and over again. So if you are just starting and you don't know where to start here. Begin the process of creating. You don't need to worry about how you're going to copyright it and how you're going to market it. The most important thing is to make it. And you will find that once you make it, once you have the thing, everything else is so much easier. It's very freeing. And I promise you, you can do this. And please know that I'm out there and I'm practicing with you. So, with that, remember, I believe in you. You're supported. You're amongst friends, and it's too late to quit. You got this.